Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I'm playing another game of Deth Wizards. This is a custom scenario I made. It is difficulty 7. It's not going to get you a lot of XP, but it could get you an extra minion or two during your Raise New Undead. So the basic idea, this is Old Man Keedop's farm. Old Man Keedop has a family secret. They've been taking care of the competition and burying the bodies on the farm ground. It's a good place to go get some material to create some new minions. So your Necromancer and your minions are going to come and try and recover some of the bodies. However, Old Man Keedop has 2 sons per player, so 2 here for me. 2 sons to back him up. He's a wizard. They're villagers, and he has hired 1d3 rating 2 warriors, mercenaries. Let's roll for it. I rolled a 3, so that's 2. So I will put 2 more warriors there for a total of 5. Now, it does not matter which edge or which corner you begin on. So I'll start over here, and I will rotate and put these over, well, I guess it makes sense for them to not so much be over there in hiding. I'll move those plants. Those don't really seem to go there. So these 5 will start over here. Your objective, as always, is to get all of the heroes defeated by the end of round 5 or turn 5. And if you do, you're going to get to raise 2 new undead instead of 1 during the upkeep or the end of the mission or scenario phase. All right, so we have 2 rating 2 warriors, 1 rating 2 wizard, and 2 villagers. Also, the villagers will never flee. They will not flee. They're his sons. And if you roll a flee, you change it to get them. Now, remember that let's see, what was it? The warriors have a range of, I can't remember. Let me see if I can find it. What did I do with those cards? Oh, they're over here. I took all the cards away. I do need the wizard card, by the way. Yep. Okay, so I will throw up cards on the screen when it calls for it. If you remember from previous videos, I currently have 19 necromantic energy. I will use a D20 to track that, and I'll also use a D6 to track the round. So 19 on the farmhouse and round 1. All right, as usual, I have my specters, my ghouls, and a single skeleton. 2 ghouls, 2 specters, 1 skeleton. That is it. A couple games back, I lost a lot of my minions in a lair, what do you call it? A lair assault. So I'm having to rebuild slowly but surely. I really sort of enjoy playing the game. The difficulty level, I'm going to start ramping it up again, but I think the difficulty level on this, like when you get up around 9, 10, it's tough. I failed my last mission, which was assault the Arcane College, so, it happens. All right, as usual, I can activate my Necromancer and up to 4 ratings of minions, which the specters are rating 2, the ghouls are rating 2 each, and the single skeleton is rating 1. So, I love that I have this big structure in the center here because it's going to give me some cover, but it's also going to mean that they're going to run in and we're going to meet up head to head. So, have to play this carefully here. I do not want to split the party, so to speak. I don't want to split them up. I need to keep them close together. So, on my first go, I am going to activate a specter. A specter has a movement of 8. One of my specters is got a movement of 7, damaged. And also one of my ghouls has a bonus offense of 1. My cave, I picked an impedimenta called Fungal Garden. One of my minions gets +1 offense for a game. I'm going to give that to my other ghoul. And now we're ready to go. So the specters moving 8 and 7, they will double move. I'm going to get them out there. So the first one will move 8 straight ahead, and then I'm going to have her lurk. She can actually go up on buildings. She can fly, so I could put her in unusual places that they might not be able to go. But it really doesn't matter because it's still a range issue with her. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move her over 8, it's actually 7, and put her behind this tree for cover. All right, and then my second minion, or my second one, can move 7. I will send her here, and then another 7 is going to put her right about here. Not quite 7, but underestimating it. And then my Necromancer can move, and my Necromancer's movement is 5. So if he double moves, which I'm not going to cast any powers this turn, he can move 10. So he is going to go all the way to right about there. And that is the end of the Necromancer's turn. We spin it around. All right, as usual, there is a pecking order to the order, or the pecking order to how the heroes will activate. The heroes activate Ranger first, Priest, Paladin, Wizard, Warrior, Rogue, Villager. So in this case, the Wizard, which is Old Man Keedop, he is going to move first. So what you do on their action is you roll on a card. I'm going to throw a card up on the screen. It is a D10. You roll a D10 to determine what his action is. So let me roll this. I rolled a 10, which is Dispel Magic. Now, there's another rule at the top of the card. It says if an action is impossible, the wizard will default to Force Globe. He cannot dispel because none of the heroes have any conditions on them, and there are no necromancers within 12. So instead of casting that, he'll do Force Globe, which says the wizard moves directly away from enemies if there is an enemy within 1 inch. There is not. The wizard then increases their defense by 1. So I'm going to put a 1 to remind myself that his defense is now higher. Now, the other thing I forgot is I need a whole bunch of D10s, so give me just a second to grab those. I knew there was something I was coming to the table without. And let's see, I got a bunch here. All right, I think that's it. If I need more, I'll find them. This game is D10 intensive. So he went, and then, oh, by the way, you activate 2 heroes per player. So I'm playing solo, so that means 2 of these will activate. So now one of the mercenaries will act. Now the mercenaries are the one with the bow and the pikemen dressed in green. The other 2 are the sons, so they're villagers. So let's roll for the yellow mercenary, who is a warrior. And I'll throw his card up on screen. I rolled a 1. Defensive stance. The warrior does not move and gains a +1 to defense until the end of the turn. Man, they're all just holding back. All right, and then the second one, I rolled a 2, which is strike. Okay, he's got some energy. Basically, he will attack the nearest enemy. If no enemy's within 1, it will move a full move and then attack. If it cannot move and attack such an enemy, it will move again. So it's basically a double move. And the warrior moves 6, so he will move 12. And the specter is visible. So he is, where was he? He was right here. So he's going to have to go around the around here. So he would go 7 and 5. Now at this point, he doesn't have any ranged weapons, does he? No ranged weapons. So he will move his full move, and he's going for my specter here. Okay, that is it. I will indicate, well, he's done, and it is now my turn. So we go back to my side, and I've got, let's see, how can I do this so y'all can see better? I think I should put it probably right about here. All right, I have 2 ghouls and a skeleton. The skeleton is really good. There's only one of them, and I hate to lose him. He's got a durability of 9 and a defense of 5. He's tougher than the other ones. But let's get the ghouls into the mix. Both ghouls have a movement of 7, so they can double move for 14. Let's get them out there. 14 is right here, so if I put it here, he will go right up next to almost next to the specter. And then he is a +1, and I forgot she is a -1, so she's the one that moves shorter. And then this one right here can also move the full move. So he will move all the way up. And that is it. And now I can move my Necromancer. My Necromancer is going to shift just a little bit to the... I did fix my trees with some clear bases, but they just don't work. It's crap. Sorry about that. He will move just to the left so that he can see the warrior, or the mercenary. And I guess now is a good time to cast a spell. All right. The warrior has a resist of 3+ rating. It's a rating 2, so his resist is 5 against any magic I cast. I am going to spend 3 to cast Negative Bolt. So I am down to 16. I need a countdown die is what I need. 16. And it is 4d10. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am looking for 5s or higher on these rolls. I got a 6, a 7, and a 5. So that is 3 successes. The spell says if you get at least 3 successes, the damage is 1d10 plus 1d6. So I will roll a d10 and a d6. And by the way, the warrior's health is 10 plus 3 per rating, which would be 16. I rolled 12. 16 minus 12 is 4. He only has 4 health left. I use green dice to represent how much health is left. I use red dice to indicate how much damage has been done. Just makes it a little easier for me. All right, that was excellent. And that is the end of my turn. So now we come over here to the last 2, which would be... Hold on a second. I shouldn't have activated a second one. It was the wizard and 1 soldier, so I activated an additional one, which is fine. So now I'll activate just one of the villagers. All right, so the warrior already moved. Let's look at the villager. And the villager, let's roll a d10. A 5. 5 is get 'em. The villager will attack the nearest enemy it can see. If there's no enemy, it moves 5. If it cannot move and attack, it will move and use its action to move towards the closest enemy, ending within 3 inches of another villager. So really, it does have a range of... The villager has a ranged weapon of 8. If it moves 5... Let's see, it would be this one. If it moves 5 towards the nearest enemy, it is not within 8 of any of my guys. So, if I read it correctly, it says it will move 5 and make an attack against the nearest enemy. If it cannot move and attack such an enemy, it will move and use its action to move towards the closest enemy, ending within 3 inches of another villager if possible. Well, if it moves towards the enemy, it would have to move back to be near the other villager. So I don't think it would do that. And I think in this game, being the aggressive son is going to sort of play into the story. All right, he is done, and he did not get to attack because he's out of range. All that's left is my single skeleton over here, but I will get to activate my Necromancer again. The skeleton has a movement of 6, so he can double move 12, and 12 is going to get him. I want to keep him near my Necromancer, right there. So he double moved, and he is done. And my Necromancer sees that other villager coming. I think I should try to take out that villager. Let's do it. I'm going to lower by 3, so I'm down to 13. And I'm going to cast Negative Bolt again. 4d10. 4d10. And by the way, the villager has a durability of 8 and a resist of 4. So 4s and higher. Higher, and 3 misses. So I only got 1 hit. It says if you get 1 success, the target will suffer a d10. Let's hope it's high. 9. That kills him. No, not that one. That one. That poor villager had 8 health, and I took him out with a single spell. That was awesome. Whoa! All right. Now we flip over. And I'm not going to move my Necromancer. I'm going to keep him right there. Actually, maybe I do want to shift him a little bit. Do I? I think I do. I want to shift him just a little bit back so that the Spectre is the closer enemy. There we go. All right. The only one left is the single sun right here, the villager. So let's roll to see what he does. Roll a d10. A 1. Flee. Remember, they don't flee. So he's going to do a get 'em. He's going to do the exact same thing his brother just did, but he will double move, which is 5 and 5 is 10. He will move 10, which puts him right here. Is he within 8? Not of that one. He is within 8 of that, but he double moved, so he cannot attack. That's good. All right, he's in within 3. Okay, so he's right here. This 4 goes with that one. All right, that is the end of round number 1. It's a good round because I was able to take out one villager, and I put a lot of damage on one of the mercenaries. So let's go ahead and rotate this around. At the start of the turn, we're on turn number 2, I gain 3 necro energy back. So I go back up to 16, and it is now my turn. Now, I have, and these go away. That was until the end of the round. I have a Spectre that is definitely within attacking range of this one. The Spectre has a ranged attack. No. Oh yeah, it's called Black Bolt. It does damage to an enemy that is, whenever it deals damage to an enemy that's already wounded, that enemy is slowed. Or I could rush in and attack with my hands, which is a 5 dice roll as well. The problem I have, is the warriors have a special ability. It says whenever the warrior suffers damage from an offense attack from an attacker within 1 inch, the attacker suffers 1 damage for each natural 1, which is fine. That's a risk. But it has this one, defensive specialist. This model increases its defense by 2 whenever there is only a single enemy within 1 inch. So if I move it within 1 inch to attack, its defense goes up by 2, which means its defense is 7. Only 7s will hit. So I'm going to use my Spectre is going to attack with the Black Bolt. It is a 5 dice attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is going up against the defense of the warrior, which is 5. So only 5s and higher will hit. 4 hits would be great because he's only got 4 health left. That's a 10, which is a crit, 6 hits, 5 hits, and another crit. Crits count as 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, which is enough to kill the mercenary. And I think old man Keedop is probably not too happy right now. That was just one of my minions. My other, this is a villager. My other, now if I move any closer, which I have to because the range is 10. Well, I don't have to. I could attack this one with that, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack this villager with that Spectre using, the maximum damage he can do is, like, if I roll all single hits, is 5. If he rolls some crits in there, he could, but the crits are hard. They're a 10 to roll. I guess I could do the damage and then use the Necromancer to finish him off if he has low enough health. So I'm going to attack with 5 dice again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The villager's defense is 3. 3s and higher hit. Love it. That's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits. So he has 3 health left out of 8. So now my Necromancer says, good job. He will shift to the left just a little bit. And he is going to cast his 5 bolt attack. Negative bolt. Range of 18. Cost of 3. So I need to lower that to 13. I've been really nervous about using my necromantic energy, but the game is going sort of well right now, so I think I better just run with it. All right, 3s and high, hold on, his resist is 4. So 4s and higher will hit. That's a crit. Well, it doesn't count as a crit. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hits. 3 hits. I think he's dead, because if I get 3 successes, it's a D10 and a D6 damage, and I've just got to do 3 damage. If I roll double 1, Snake Eyes, he's alive. I rolled 14, so there is nothing left of that sun. And the Necromancer is laughing at this farmer who thought he could stop me from pulling some bodies from the ground of his farm. Okay, done, done, and done. That's it. We've only got 2 heroes left, so they will both activate. The wizard, what will the wizard do? Too bad the wizard doesn't have a flee action. 6. 6 is a fireball. The wizard makes an attack against the nearest enemy it can see, targeting that enemy's resist instead of defense. All models within 3 inches of the target suffer half the damage. Okay, so he can see the nearest enemy. The nearest is probably going to be, because my guy's just a little bit back, it's either going to be that one or that one. And range of 20, which I believe, yeah, he can hit me. He can definitely hit, well, he can almost, yeah, I'll give it to him. But this one's closer a little bit. Oh, this one's 18. Okay, so this, oh, but the bad news is I got 2 ghouls near it. So all 3 of them are going to take damage. Ooh, okay. All right, so that's, that's part of the strategy of this game. I didn't think about getting my ghouls away and forgetting that I'm up against a wizard with fireball. Okay, he's casting fireball. So the way this works is his offense is 2 plus his rating, 1 per rating. So his rating is 2, so that's 4 dice. He'll roll 4 dice. And he's doing fireball. And he's attacking the Spectre. The Spectre, and it says to use the resist. Hold on. In targeting the enemy's resist instead of defense. So resist is 5. So he's got to roll 5s and higher here. He got 1 and a crit and 2 misses. All right, so that's 3 hits. So my Spectre will take 3 damage. I'll put a red 3 on her, and I'm going to take this 1 away and replace it with a green one. So she's got 3 damage on her. But now, all enemies within 3 inches, which is going to be those 2 ghouls, the skeleton and these 2 are too far away. All models within 3 suffer half the damage dealt, rounding up, so 2 damage. So the ghouls have a durability of 10, so they each take 2 points of damage from a fireball. Okay, that was actually pretty funny. I kind of like that. That was my necromancer's over here cursing because that was not cool. Not cool. All right, so he went. Now this mercenary will go. This mercenary is a warrior. Again, a 1 defensive stance. He's like, let him come to us. The dad is like, I don't think that's going to work. All right, who haven't I moved? Well, I haven't moved my ghouls, and I haven't moved my skeletons, so I'm going to send those ghouls in. They don't have a lot of damage on them. They only have 2 points. So the ghouls are going to run. The ghouls have a movement of 7, so they can move 14, and I'm going to spread them out. So this one's going to run all the way up here, because on his next one, he's going to attack that wizard directly. This one can go all the way, 14 is right there. And they each have 2 damage on them. And they each have that +1, +1. All right, 2 damage, +1 offense. So when they get in there to attack hand-to-hand, they're going to be pretty good. All right, so they moved, and now my Deth Wizard, my Necromancer, he has something called Stitch Together. If they are within 12 inches, which I don't think they are, no, they're not. But I could get him within 12 if I just move him up a little bit. If he casts Fireball again, he's going to cast it on one of them. So let's move my Necromancer up just enough to put them within 12. They are both within 12. It says, cost of 3, range 12, up to 3 friendly non-spirits all heal 1d6 durability. So I'm going to go ahead and cast it. 13 minus, what is the cost of that? 3 is 10. I'm down to 10 necro. But I get to heal a d6 on my ghouls. I rolled 1, so they only have 1 damage on them now. Yeah, that's better than... I was kind of hoping to heal him up full. All right. So the Necromancer went, they went, I am done. The only thing left is my skeleton. He will activate. And here's the thing I am unsure of. I'm pretty sure my Necromancer gets to activate because it activates at least twice, and you're supposed to activate anytime a minion activates. If I am interpreting that wrong, please let me know. But I believe the rules say that when a minion activates, or in a turn when you activate a rating of minions, you also activate your Necromancer. So the skeleton has a movement of 6, so he can move 12. So he's going to move all the way up here. And I like my skeleton because if I have to, I could corpse bomb using him. Send him in there to explode and do a lot of damage. I don't want to do that because that's a waste of a good skeleton. But, you know, if the enemy's proving to be a little bit hard to kill, you can use it. All right, that is going to have to be the end of this episode. I try to keep these under 30 minutes, and I think I'll be able to finish this. I'm pretty confident I can finish this in the next episode. Patrons, you will not need to wait like a week to see how this ends. When I post a multi-part video, I will post... I can't promise all the time. It depends on editing time and things like that. But I will do my best to post them all up at the same time so that you can watch start to finish. So being that this is a 2-episoder, I think I can do that. All right, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Patrons, thanks for joining me. And thank you for your support so I can keep playing these playthroughs and recording them and editing them and throwing them up there for my patrons to watch. Your support allows me to play a lot more games than I normally would, and I'm really quite pleased that the Patreon is growing as fast as it is. If it continues to grow at this rate, there's a lot of new things I can do, a lot of things that I can do for the patrons of mine. So thank you, and stay tuned because you won't have to wait. I guess you'll just have to click on another video to see how this scenario wraps up. All right, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.